Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is lesson 489. Title of today's lesson is the difference between abundance and plethora. All right, this is one. Sometimes it comes up. Sometimes, like both of these words will be in the same article, students will often ask, what's the difference between these two? Okay, somebody wants a screenshot? Do it right now. Let's get right into it. An abundance of something is a large quantity, usually more than enough, or more than a sufficient quantity. So it's definitely more than you need, but it doesn't have to be a whole lot more than that. Let's continue. Abundance is more common than plethora. So we're going to hear the word abundance very, very often. Plethora only once in a while. You can say that something is in abundance, there is something of abundance, or there is an abundance of something. So you can hear abundance used all three ways here. It's very common. Okay. A plethora is an amount a lot greater than what is needed. So in some ways it feels a bit higher than abundance, even though, again, there is crossover because they're both clearly more than enough. It is closer to excessive. Well, sometimes, depends on how it's used. An excessive amount, or sometimes too much. A plethora is always, it's always used as like a plethora of. So you cannot say in plethora, like you could say with abundance, you could say in abundance. You cannot say in plethora, that we never say that. Or there is an amount of plethora. No, but you could say that there is a certain amount of abundance. You could say this. Okay, good. So plethora is kind of limited to just really used in the phrase a plethora of something. All right, so there's a clear difference there. Plethora tends to be more formal and literary, where abundance is just pretty common. It could be positive or neutral, but it's often negative too, where abundance tends to be more positive more often. Plethora sometimes can be used with things that are negative. All right, let's continue. All right, and we got 8 examples to show all these kind of ideas. We can now produce an abundance of oil for our own use, and we can start to export it. So this is good. You're producing oil. You're producing more than you need. So this way, you're not dependent on other countries. You have an abundance of it. Good. Number 2, Australia has an abundance of unique flora and fauna. Yeah, well, of course, they have some very interesting different types of plants and animals that you can't find in other parts of the world. So a lot of times in their travel agency, they often advertise that they have an abundance of this. They have a lot of it, more than enough for an average person. You're going there. There's a lot of different animals and plants. It's very different than other places. Okay, number 3. He has skills in great abundance. Remember, so we can always say that something is in abundance. Number 4 here. Everyone brought dishes for the party, and we had an abundance of food. So you can also say an abundance of something. So since luckily everybody brought a lot, then there was more than enough for everybody. Okay, good. All right, so number 5, he was born into a rich family and lived a life of abundance. So remember, sometimes we could say something of abundance. So he lived a life of abundance. He lived a life of probably great wealth, because he was born into a rich family. He was very lucky. All right, let's go on. Number 6. They made a plethora of errors. So again, we might use it with something that's negative. Errors are mistakes. So that would be negative. So, and we're really trying to emphasize, like almost too much, way more than enough. Number 7, he received a plethora of fines. Whoa, so this is also sounds like quite a bit. Also kind of too much, or too much that you're happy that you don't want them. Number 8, there are a lot of hotels in this area. There is a plethora of choices for places to stay. So this is kind of neutral, this one. It just means there's, well more than enough. You have quite a few. So, and you're trying to, so when you use plethora in that sense, you're really trying to emphasize that it's way, way more than enough, so don't worry about it. Okay, anyway. Again, I hope you got a better feel of when you might be more likely to use one than the other. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.